I don't know what to say to my kids. I just found out yesterday that my 41M wife, 38F, has been cheating on me. It's been going on for at least a year, though I suspect it's been going on longer than that even. I finally confronted her yesterday with proof. She's not tech-savvy at all and didn't even try harder than to give her affair partner the name of a female friend on her phone to hide her activities. Explicit chats, nudes, videos. Everything. They have met up several times as well, and while I don't have pictures or video of this, they talk about it in their messages. When I showed her the screenshots I had of almost everything, she just went blank. She barely answered any of my questions and just started to pack a few things and left the house. That was yesterday afternoon. I still haven't heard from her, and I suspect she's run off to her AP. We have 2 teenage daughters, 16 and 13, and they are asking me where mom is. So far I've only told them that we've had a disagreement and that she needed some space. My oldest asked me if I had done anything to my wife, and I told her as class I could that I have never laid hands on their mother. I've barely ever raised my voice because I know I can't be really scary if I do so. My oldest daughter seemed to believe me, and I promised her that we would talk more about his tomorrow. What do I tell my daughters? I have proof I can show them that their mother is cheating on me, but I don't want to burden them more than necessary. I think I might need to say something before my wife starts spreading lies about us. Sadly, it's not something I would be surprised at from her now. I can't sleep. I have no appetite and I feel like I'm having a panic attack all the time. My daughters put on a brave face, but they can tell that I'm not doing well right now. I don't want them to hate their mother, even though I certainly feel that way about her now. She's so stupid too. I had noticed for a while that something was up, but I knew I had to investigate further when I found a negative pregnancy test in the trash. When I asked her about, she actually claimed that it was our oldest daughter who had needed the test, because she knows I had a vasectomy a few years ago. She actually dragged our daughter into her dirty business. Did she actually believe I wouldn't talk to our daughter about this? She knows I'm way closer to our daughters than she is. She barely has time for them and seems mostly annoyed whenever she has to interact with them for more than a few minutes at a time. Typing all this out actually shifts my feelings from numbness towards anger. I think I prefer anger right now, but I have to keep it locked inside. I'm just dreading the talk I have to have tomorrow. Update. I've tried posting this in other subreddits, but it gets taken down, so I'll put it here. Writing this stuff down helps me sort my thoughts. This was written yesterday, September 8th, and there's been some developments, but I need to process them if I'm going to write about them. The most important is that my wife is currently back home. She reached out late last night and came home this morning after the kids went to school. Yesterday's update. When I woke up today, I was half hoping and half dreading to find that my wife had returned to the house in the middle of the night, but she was still radio silent. She hadn't reached out to our kids either. Not even to reassure them that she's okay. A sort of numbness had come over me, and I did my best to make everything seem as normal as possible, but my oldest daughter demanded to know why her mother hadn't come home yet and asked again if I had hurt or scared her. My oldest actually asked me the same question yesterday, and I swear to God that the pain I felt when she said that was worse than when I discovered that my wife was cheating on me. I had planned to take them to a park we often go to during the weekends with our dog, but I saw that I had to tell them during the breakfast. I told them that I had discovered that their mother was unfaithful to me and that I had planned to keep this between their mother and myself, but that I had to tell them since she decided to leave the house instead of communicating with me. My youngest daughter was just silent. She had this expression on her face that I've never seen before. Stone-faced with a hardness I've never seen in her. My oldest got angry. Angry at her mother for putting us in this situation and angry at me for not telling her yesterday. It turns out that she's barely slept tonight thinking the worst possible thoughts about what could be going on. I hate that she's put our kids in this situation. I hate that I can't tell them everything is going to be okay without lying to them, so I've just said that I promise to put them before everything else, no matter what happens next. After we ate, we went to the park like we planned, and it was actually really nice. Our dog is a bundle of energy and he loves playing frisbee with us. My wife never showed any real appreciation for these activities, and I really didn't miss her there and then. I felt bad about that later, and I'm confused about how to feel tbh. I tried reaching out to my wife again while my daughters looked after our dog, but she didn't pick up. She's turned off all location data on her phone and I have no idea where she is. I assume she's with her AP, but I don't really care right now. I only care about taking care of my daughters right now. She has always been someone who runs from her problems, but this behavior has quite shocked me. My oldest daughter seems to shift between anger and sadness. She isn't angry at me anymore, or at least she says so. She has a great network of friends and I've told her that it's up to her to decide what to say to them. My youngest is just passive. She has a lot more difficulty with managing her emotions and expressing them. She has trouble making close friends and has been bullied at school for the last year and a half. My heart breaks that she has to deal with this on top of everything she struggles with already. My plan now is to schedule therapy for my kids, and that should be quick. I will take some time off work and start the divorce process. Update 2. My wife cheated for over a year and acts like I'm the problem. As I'm writing this, it's almost a week since I confronted my wife about her affair that's been going on for at least a year. It was an extremely traumatic experience since she left the house instead of dealing with the situation like a responsible adult. She was impossible for me and my kids to reach for over 48 hours, and this has been traumatic for my kids. For me too. There's more about this in my profile history, but it's not what this post is about. My wife came home on Monday. She left on Friday afternoon, while the kids were at school. She was extremely distressed and very apologetic. She said she was ready to admit everything to me and had spent the weekend ending her affair with the AP. She was almost manic in how she acted and apologized over and over and said a lot of things I believe she thought I wanted to hear. I've dealt with anxiety and a short stint with depression a few years ago, and this sent me back to those days. My wife was always my rock during that time, and I just wanted her to care about me and love me. I'm so shameful now, but we ended up sleeping together and she promised me that we could fix things. I feel so dirty now. I feel like I ruined any chance of dealing with this situation with even a shred of respect from her side since I fell for her manipulation as soon as she got home. I had planned for how I would act and deal with her when she finally got home, but nothing happened even close to how I thought it would play out. I told her afterwards that I don't want to work on her relationship and just want a divorce as quickly as possible. I also told her that I had told our daughters that she was cheating on me and that I had no choice but to do so since they were very concerned when she left us. She got really angry and said that I was an a-hole for bringing our kids into something that was between us, and that I was manipulating them against her. I called her a few names and told her that she was the one who wouldn't even answer a text or let them know that she was okay or when she was coming home. These past few days have been hell. The kids are relieved that their mom is home ago, but at the same time extremely upset with her. My wife shifts between visibly annoyed at having to deal with the situation and just distant. Her love bombing lasted few hours and now she's acting like I'm the problem in her life. She refuses to move out even though I bought the house before we even met. All the paperwork is in my name, but I can't kick her out. There's strict laws in our country that protect someone from getting evicted and going homeless. She's the mother of my children and I don't want her to be homeless either, but I wish she would move in with her mother or sister for a short while at least. I feel like I can't breathe at home right now. She doesn't want IC and I'm not sure I even want to consider MC. I just want a semblance of control back and I don't know how to get that. My wife seems to still think that we'll stay married and that this is something we can work through, but at the same time says that I need to let stuff go so we can move forward. It feels so unfair to be in this situation.